Well, hey there, and welcome back to Color Me Kris. Today we're going to be looking at all the books that I colored in for October 2025. I had a lot of fun coloring, and I hope you'll have fun watching this video. So, you want to see what's in them? I hope you do. Stick around.
When the world seems gray in the news today, creativity can feel like bliss. Come brighten your day in a colorful way. It's time for Color Me Kris.
Alright, the first book, it's a new book that I have, and it's called Creepy Girl. And I did one coloring in it, because I didn't have time to do much more, but I definitely will be. But that coloring is this one. And I used Arrtx pencils for her face and her hair, and a couple of other things, some shadowing stuff. But then the other, I used Arrtx alcohol markers for everything else. But I wanted to see if I like their pencils, and I like their pencils very much. They're actually better than the Ohuhu pencils in that they don't break and crumble while you're using them, because I have both. We'll talk about the Ohuhu ones later, but those go down like butter, but they break and crumble, and you would have to buy a new set every 2 months if you colored a lot, if that long. Whereas the Arrtx pencils go down like butter, and they look great, and they're easy to work with, and they don't break and crumble. So, Arrtx, much better pencils. So this is my Creepy Girl. Hopefully you like it. And let's move on to the next thing. So from Creepy Girl to Creepy.Q.I.A, I think I said that correctly, Halloween. I did some coloring in this, this book is awesome. I love this book. I wish I could have done more in it, but October just went super fast. And so I've decided I'm going to keep coloring Halloween stuff in November. I don't care. I mean, November's kind of like just an in-between month until the holiday season as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, this is what I did in October. And this was a buddy color. I finally have people that want a buddy color with me, which is so awesome. But anyway, I did this buddy color with Deb, and her buddy color, I hope I can do this right. Well, one way or another, it's either going to be here or it's going to be on the screen right now. Hers is fantastic. I love hers because she has a style that I absolutely love. And I don't know if I even have a style. I think I'm just a, generic kind of coloring person. But she has this wonderful style, and I absolutely love it. So those are the ones we did there for this buddy color. We also did some more. Let me go. And I'll have her information. You just saw it on the screen, but it'll be down below if you want to follow her on Instagram. And I highly recommend you do. That clicking you hear is Mystique, who's decided to walk around now, and her little nails click on the hardwood floor. Well, the fake wood floor, because it's not really real wood. Anyway, and then I did this little guy, call him Frankie, and I did him with Arrtx also. I've been using a lot of Arrtx. In fact, it's my new favorite marker. I'll tell you why later. But I just think they're really cool. They're more vibrant than Ohuhu. Now, they cost more. Yes, I agree. But their colors are just much more vibrant. And I don't know. I just really like them so much. But anyway, this is little Frankie. He lost his arm. So he cut someone else's off. Although I'm not sure. Maybe he got his right hand and left hand confused. But anyway, he's sewing it back on. And I used the Arrtx, and then I also used glitter gel pens, which hopefully you can tell that they're there. And then the next one I did was this one. This was also a buddy color with Deb. And I had a lot of fun with this one because it was like, how far can I go to make the hotel or whatever the heck it is, a house, look as disgusting as possible with mildew. And we just watched the last Conjuring movie. It's supposed to be the last one. Last Rites, that's it. And the haunted house they were in, by the way, the movie sucks. But I love the first two, and then they just suck. But the haunted house they're in has all this mold and stuff, and it's like, okay, these people are living with all this mold, or is this something that happened because of the haunting? I mean, so much was never, ever explained. But, so anyway, it inspired me to make this house as moldy as possible. So anyway, I did put some gold around the I was gonna say window panes, but they're not, the portraits that are in here. Yeah, I had fun with this. Anyway, here is Deb's. I absolutely love what she did with it. Again, she has this unique style, and I talked to her, I said, where did you get the style? What do you how do you do this? And because I don't even think that way. And she said, I just threw the coloring rules out the window. And so I'm trying to do that more with my colorings now. It's just throw the rules out the window, have fun, go for it. But it's really hard to do. So I'm very jealous of Deb and her ability to just toss and just go for it, because I love her stuff. I really do. Hers is fabulous. So, okay, and then this one, I had a lot of fun with this one too. I always say that. Well, no, I've got some I didn't have fun with, I'll tell you. But I tried something new with this. I watch Axik Fumbles, and she's very good at removing the lines of things like bubbles and stuff. So I tried her technique. It's okay for a first attempt, but of course I'm nowhere near her level, and nor will I probably ever be, of coloring things and removing lines and making things look like real bubbles floating up into the air. So, but yeah, I think the little mouse is cute. But yeah, this book is so much fun to work with because it's so cute and adorable, and then you look closer and realize, oh my god, that thing's just creepy, hence the title of the book. So yeah, I have a lot of fun with this book. And I guess that's it, although I swear we did more, but I wanted to do this one. I know, I wanted to do this on Halloween, and I never got the chance, and I'm so disappointed. Oh, look, she's got her eyes. I guess that's what she was cooking, was eyes for all the children. Isn't that lovely? Or is she taking the eyes back to her? I guess she has, no, maybe, I don't remember where she was now, but maybe she's taking her eyes back to her little house to make a nice little snack for herself. But yeah, I'm really disappointed I get to color. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Because life is short, I'm gonna go ahead and mark this one and color it. And when I do, you'll be able to see it on my Instagram, because I put everything up on there when I color them. And if you don't have Instagram, well, you're gonna have to wait till the next completed pages on here. So, but yeah, so this is a really fun book. I enjoyed it immensely. So we have the next book that I worked in, and I worked in a lot here. Well, I think a lot. Derek from Instagram and I have become pals, and we're working in this book together. So we're going to do buddy colors with all the pages in this book, although I'd already done a couple of them on my own before I got to know him. But he's awesome. You need to follow him on Instagram also. And I'll put his name up with his colorings, and it'll be down in the descriptions of this video also. But anyway, we even tackled this one. which was my fault because it was my turn to pick, and I picked, oh, let's do this one. I didn't realize it was the cover. And, oh my God, it was a lot of work. But anyway, let's get to it. We did this one together, and I was never happy with it, and I went into it after I had posted on Instagram and tried to save it, but it was not fun. So I use Arrtx markers, but down here I use the King Art gel sticks to do the grass, and then I did some backgrounding with the King Art gel sticks, but it didn't come out right because I had to use greens and things were bleeding into each other, and it's a long story, but this page was just a pain in the butt for me. And I finally got it to a point where I could, put it on Instagram. His is much better. Let's show his right now, if it's not on screen. And it's so much better. But the background just gave me so much trouble because I just messed it up so bad. And I tried to fix it with acrylic marker, and that wasn't working. So I thought, well, I'll put in some metallic acrylic marker. It's just a hot mess. It really is. It's okay if you can take the background out, but yeah, it's just a hot mess. So let's just move on. His is fabulous. Love his. Okay, and then I started using the magnets. My friends in the UK sent me cards to use, beautiful Asian cards, just gorgeous. And I used them, I used them once. I had the book full of them, and I dropped the book, and they all fell out. So as beautiful as they are, and as grateful as I am to you, Ken and Kath, please know that's why I'm not using them. It's not that I don't like them. I think they're beautiful. But unfortunately, they did not work for me because I'm a klutz and I drop things all the time. So, but I'm sure I'll find something else to use them for. Okay, so then this was one that he and I did. Another buddy color. Again, we dedicated this book to our buddy colors. So this one was a pain in the butt. I used some new pigment pens that I had seen on the Coloring Chemist, she's fabulous. I love her. And I thought I'll give those a try, and I gave them a try, and I hated them. Now there are people out there that just love them, absolutely love them. I did not. I did not think I just hated them. I didn't like the way they went down on the paper. Let me say it again. I hated them. I did put a glaze over these. I used the Duraglaze because things were coming off. And so when I got done with those, I went ahead and went with acrylic markers to take the lines out of the leaves so that they would also pop. And I had to use acrylic. This mushroom, oh, I never want to do another mushroom as long as I live. He just gave me so much trouble. That bunny's anger, that's how I felt after I was done because the pens weren't going down properly. Oh, it was just a mess. They were just I hated them. And I got rid of them. That's how much I hated them, and they're not cheap, but I got rid of them. His looks fabulous. Let's take a look at his. Isn't it sweet? His looks fabulous. So it can be done. Now, he used, of course, different products in his, but I've been trying to experiment and do new things. I just realized this is Larry. I've been trying to experiment and do new things, and the more I fail, the more I think, don't do that. Don't do new things. But I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. But yeah, I'll turn to a page that I like soon and say I love doing new things. Oh, and by the way, I found out that my doctor and his wife have watched my channel. So in case they're watching now, he's the best doctor I've ever had. He really is, actually, or else I would not be going to him. I can honestly say that I'm 62, and he really is the best doctor I've ever had. He's taking very good care of me. Other doctors, you were just a number, or cattle, just, you know, in and out, in and out. Come on, move on. Let's get another cattle one here, you know, or another cow one here. So he doesn't treat me like that at all. And I really appreciate that. And then we did this one. Now, I'm almost 100% sure we've done more. I'm going to have to check my Instagram before I stop this one. But we just did this one. And I messed her up. She was fun to do. I loved doing the flowers. And I love the bunny. I think the bunny is adorbs. I decided to make her punk because, you know, I'm from the 80s. Well, I was born in the 60s, but the 80s were my favorite period. I love the 80s. And so I kind of went there. I messed up her one eye. Oh, I was so mad. And I tried to fix it. It didn't quite work. And I said, okay, sunglasses. So I painted on the sunglasses with, hold on. I'll tell you in just a second. I'm not grabbing the color I used, but I just got these markers at the All for One, and I really like them. They're made in Germany, and you refill them. They're acrylic markers, and I have them in my haul video that will be coming soon. But these are really good because you can do things like that, and you're not going to see anything that was underneath it. So they're very opaque, and so I really like those a lot. But anyway, these were Arrtx, of course. You could tell by the brightness and stuff. Arrtx, and then I did do acrylic over the black, the ink marks for the leaves, because I'm trying to practice, and so I'm doing small things before I try to do anything major, and I think it came out okay. Now, I say that, but now we're going to look at his, and Derek's is fabulous. So here it is. Isn't it awesome? I love it. I was going to say awful. Isn't it awesome? I absolutely love it. I think it's great. I think it's great because his is sweet and kind, and then you come to mine, and as he said, she looks like she's going to pull out a flamethrower from her purse and blow all these away. And it's true. Now, hold on for 1 second. I'm going to check my phone because I'm sure we did more in this book than I just showed you. Here it is. I did mark it and I didn't see it. Okay. This is, I didn't even realize it when I picked it. The cover. And that's intimidating but good. It's intimidating because you're like, oh, I have to make it look as good as the cover. By the way, this one's one I have to finish. But at the same time, you don't want to just copy the cover. Although, you know, it's a lot easier. But it inspires you. So, all right, so here's mine. There's some things about it I absolutely love and I'm very proud of. And then there's other things that I'm like, ugh, I really did a terrible job there. So, of course, his is fabulous. We'll get to it in just a second. So what I'm not happy with, so that I can end this on a positive note, I don't think these guys came out well. I just don't. And I did use the, what I used was some new ones I have. Arrtx, I know, Arrtx. I said I'd never buy Arrtx again. But I got their real brush markers. They have the brush, the markers are actual real brushes. And I love them. They're water-based, but I love them. On the people, I also used some alcohol markers, I think, didn't I? Did I? Here and there I used some alcohol markers where I needed to, but mostly I used, well, for instance, this. I did have to use some pencil on this because I wanted the moon to really be bright. But really all I used was the outside of some acrylic were those Arrtx real brush, and I'll show you. I don't think these came out well because I went in and I put some acrylic on them to take out lines, because again, I'm experimenting and trying to learn, and I think I did a terrible, terrible job. I messed up his wand, so I put glitter on it to try to make his wand. Actually, it's just a walking stick, but I decided it was a magical wand that he was, using to help them all in their little, whatever you call it, excursion. But what I am proud of is these mountains and these trees, and they were so easily done with the water-based Arrtx real brush markers. They make blending and stuff so easy. I mean, I was amazed. So if you can see those better, I hope. I just love them for that. And they were really great. Little things like these were kind of a pain to work with, especially when I would, try to go in and put shadows and stuff. But the other stuff, they made it a piece of cake, and I absolutely love them. And so that's why I was surprised that those pigment pens didn't do better. But yeah, so that's mine. And now here's his. And I think his is much better because I think his people are better and stuff like that. And I think he did a great job. So yeah, I wish mine had been a little better. But yeah, you get what you get. I'm just glad that, because I really think I learned how to blend with those pens. I'm going to be using them a lot more for anything like that because they really work really well. But yeah, I think his is great. So, okay, that I think is it for this book. So that's that one for this month. And then this is a new coloring book that I just got. That's gross. I didn't see that before. I like the cover that sparkles and shines, but that's gross. But anyway, I picked one out of this, and it was a disaster. I did not have fun doing it, and you'll see right now. Here we go. I thought he'd be fun to do because he's Frankenstein, and I grew up with all the old Universal horror movies. And there are a few things in this that I like, but I used a new kind of pen because I've been trying new things, and it was the chromatic. Let me look it up. I used the chromatic real brush pens. And I thought, well, this will be good. This is probably going to be just like the Arrtx's, and maybe they'll be better than the Arrtx's. They're not. They were awful. I hated them. I will never use them again. God. I had so much trouble getting anything down. I had the clouds. Nothing would blend. As well as the Arrtx real brush markers blended beautifully. For the other coloring, these would not work with me at all, and I don't believe it was the paper. This is nicer paper. This is not Amazon paper. It's nice paper. And the birds, don't get me started. They would not blend, and I just had a hell of a time with this thing, and I absolutely hate it. And the birds are just god awful. If you can even see the birds, I don't even know. I ended up finally using acrylic. And even that wasn't saving them. So yeah, I'm sorry to show this to you. It's one of my biggest failures. The moon's okay. I can live with the moon. But other than that, no, this is just terrible. And I hate those. I'll never use them again, as I say. So that's Frankie, and that's out of this book. And then I was so disgusted with this that I decided, I don't even want to work on this book. And I will again, but for now, I put it on the shelf. So let's move on to the next one. Let's go into a fun one. I've had this book for a couple of years now, and I colored in it maybe twice, I think. And then I thought, I'm coloring in it this Halloween, and I did. And I think I did a good job, mostly. Okay, so this is, well, that one's, which one do I want to show first? Let's see. Okay, let's go with this one first. I did this one just recently. And again, I used the Arrtx markers. I'm telling you, they've taken the place of Ohuhu in my color regimen. But I used the Arrtx markers. And it's probably glaring. I'm sorry, because I did do a Duraglaze finish over it. Because I had to use... I messed up. Storm, it's all Storm's fault. Storm said you should make these corners darker. Well, I'm not good at that, and so I messed them up, and I ended up having to go in with acrylic marker to try to salvage, and so it was all messed up. So I had to use the Duraclear glaze to kind of seal everything, because I know it was going to have to, and I really love the Duraclear because it's just fabulous. And I had fun with it though, because I love the movie, and I tried to get the bright colors and stuff for it. And here's the funny part that happened. I'm sorry if this glazes. When I used it, and I also used the Arrtx pencils. I used them here on the woodwork and stuff like that, and for shadowing and stuff. But it was weird. When I put the Duraclear down, because you have to use a brush, it took up some of the coloring. Here, here, and here. And here, I think, a little bit. And I was like, no! I was like really upset for like a half a second. And then I said, actually, that looks really cool. Because this is supposed to be an old house that's, what, 100 years, 200 years old, and it wouldn't be, you know, the best paint jobs and stuff. So, happy accidents. So, I was actually quite proud of it, or quite happy with it that it did that. But I don't know why it did it, but it done did it. So, yeah, but, you know, I'm kind of glad. So, there's that one. And then I did one other one in here for this Halloween, and that's this one, which I really love this one. This one, when you looked at it black and white, and I keep trying to remember, I want to take a picture of things before I do them. I screwed this up, I need to glue it down. So that I can kind of show before and after, but I keep forgetting to do it. And this one, when you looked at it before and it was just all black and white, and it had the vines and then the bars and stuff like that, it looks like some sort of child puzzle where, you know, you have to get the person out of the center, or you get the person into the center maze thing. And I said that's going to be something that would be challenging and fun. So I decided I had to do it. And it was a lot of fun. I did the vines first, and it was a lot, because you would start and I said, okay, where's this going? Where's this? Oh, it's going, oh, it broke off. Okay, now I gotta keep going here, and I gotta go back. Oh, that broke off, you know, and it was a lot of fun. And then the bars, the whole thing was just fun. And then I put stars in the background. So, I think it came out pretty good, actually. Again, I used the Arrtx markers. I did do some gel pen. I don't know if these are showing up, but here on the little knobs. And but I just love these new Arrtx markers that I got. No, they are not a sponsor. No, they did not pay me. I paid for the products that I bought. I always pay for the products that I buy. And that's why my things are honest. So yeah, I decided to get them and try them, and I just keep loving them and buying more of their products because they're really good. Now the customer service sucks. I will be honest, it does. So if you buy them, you might want to buy them through Amazon, because at least Amazon will protect you. But when I do my haul, I'll talk about what happened with one of the products that came from their site damaged, and it took me so much effort to get them to replace it, but I finally did, because, you know, I'm loud and I don't shut up, and that's, you know, that's me. But anyway, I like this. I think I did a pretty good job. I think it's fun, but yeah, so see, I do like some of my stuff, and yeah, okay, so that was this book for this Halloween, unless I've forgotten something, but I'm pretty sure that was it. This is a fun book. Okay, so this, of course, is one of my favorite coloring books, which I may have told you 150 million times. But I did do a couple of them in here for Halloween, and let's get to them. First one is this little girl, and she was also a buddy color with Deb, and this was a lot of fun. Again, I used the Arrtx, and I think the colors pop. I used the Arrtx pastels. I did do, of course, some coloring with acrylic to bring out the blood, and then I put on some glossy accents to make those shine, which I guess I'll show you that now, because I always say blood should look wet. So the glossy accents is on there. I love glossy accents, it's so awesome. I had no problems with her. I think she was a lot of fun. I wanted the spider web to kind of look like it was glowing. I hope I achieved that effect. I don't know. And on this, I actually used the two Copic markers that I have, because these are very bright. And I got these for that purpose, for windows and lights and all. And I don't know, for $8, it doesn't look like you get much, but everyone raves about them, and I wanted to try them. And yeah, they're cool, but I went on their website, and I thought, because I'm mad at Ohuhu for something, and I went on Copics, and I picked all their sets so that I would have all their colors and their alcohol markers, and it came to $2,800. No, I did not buy them. After I woke up, I passed out, I thought, no marker, I don't care. Unless it comes in your home and does your dishes and washes the windows, no marker is worth that kind of money. I don't care if you can refill them. Maybe if they came out and refilled them for you and cooked you dinner while they were here, maybe then I would think, okay, well, you know, these are quite worth it. But I can't see spending that kind of money. I'm sorry. I just can't. So I'll stick with the Arrtx for right now. But anyway, let me show you Deb's. I think hers is wonderful. Again, she has this incredibly cool new style that I've never seen anyone else do. And I absolutely love her work, and I love Derek's work, but her style is just, I don't know. I can watch it all day. So it's fun now. When we do the buddy colors, and we'll do more, my excitement isn't, ooh, what will mine look like? My excitement's always, ooh, what's hers gonna look like? Because I love that style. I just do. But anyway, so this is mine. You saw hers. Let's move to the next page. And it is a buddy color also. But this buddy color was with Candace from HappyCatastrophy Coloring. And I adore her. I love her channel. It'll be, anybody that's got a channel, I'll click up there. There'll be a little eye. But this again, had a lot of fun. She picked this one. She wanted to do steampunk. I guess she'd never done steampunk, and I hadn't either. So I'm like, oh, sure, Candace, that'll be great. Thinking, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. But I did. I have a challenge for you. I'm gonna show this to you up close. And I also used the glossy accents for her eyes and the lenses. But I want to ask you a question. I want you to look at this and this and tell me which one you think looks better. Which one pops to you? If any, because it's on camera. So, it's not really a fair question. But you tell me which one pops to you. Put it down in the comments. I really want to know, and I'll tell you why. Because on one of them I used Ohuhu pastels, and the other I used the Arrtx pastels. And I see, at least in the human eye, a definite difference. I'm wondering if you do on camera. I hope you do. So, go ahead and tell me down in the comments which one you picked. And be honest. This one is Ohuhu. And this one is the Arrtx. And I think, personally, this one pops more. The colors are better. They're both the pastel. But I just when I did it, I was like, oh my god, what a difference. And this is before I was ticked off at Ohuhu. I'll tell you why at the end of this video, so I don't bore you. But anyway, what do you think, folks? Which one do you like better? And be honest, I don't mind. If you pick Ohuhu, that's fine. But anyway, yeah, so this is the one I did. Let me show you Candace's. Here it is. It's funny, I went with gold. And we didn't talk about this. We both ended up going with purple. It was just some sort of psychic connection. And then I went with gold because I didn't know how to do silver. And she went with the silver. So that's why hers, so hers is silver, mine's gold. And I think that's cool that we didn't even talk about it, but we went in the directions that we did and with the purple and stuff like that. So hers is awesome. I wish I could do silver like she knows how to do silver. I kind of figured out gold, but I guess, depends what, I don't know. Maybe I'll never be able to do silver that well, but yeah. But I think it was terrific. I hope that she'll do more buddy colors with me, but she's very popular, so she's doing a lot of that kind of stuff with other people. But Candace, darling, if you could book me in for another buddy color, I would certainly appreciate it, darling. Thank you. She's so much fun. She's awesome. You gotta check out her channel. She's terrific. Okay, so that was it for this book for now. And then our next one is a brand new one, which I just did one page in. Color Some Sweetness, and it's Halloween. I believe this was a gift from Kath and Ken, because I don't remember buying it, so it must have been. But anyway, this is what I did in it. I think he's cute. I'm trying to use some of my Ohuhu markers up, so I went ahead and actually used Ohuhu markers for the background, but the coloring itself is the Arrtx markers, and yeah, Arrtx. And this is a great book to work in because it's one way you don't have to think. If you just need to relax and you want to grab some colors or markers, whatever, and throw them down on a page and not have to worry about tons of shading and stuff like that, this book is fabulous for that. The paper is actually pretty good. I didn't have any problem with, well, a little bit down here with feathering and stuff like that, but it's actually pretty good for marker. But it also has a good texture, I think, for pencil, if you want to use pencil and stuff like that. And of course your gray shading is already done for you, so that always helps. So, but anyway, this little guy, I don't know, he makes me smile. So that's one of the other things that I colored. And moving on. Okay, so this is the Dark Fairy Tales, and I've been working in it, and I've decided that I've made a little fairy tale. And so I'm going to tell you the little fairy tale as I show you the pictures. So hopefully I'll do this right. I may be doing some editing here so that it all blends together better. So our story is Cinderella. And we start with this page. She wanted to go to the ball so badly because there's a prince that she's been dying to meet. And of course her evil, wicked stepmother and evil, horrible, and kind of ugly stepsisters didn't let her go, as you know how the story goes. And the prince was throwing a beautiful ball, but he was overthrown. He was overthrown by a horrible dictator and evil, awful, terrible person who decided that the ball was going to be the I'm the richest, wonderful, most fantastic king in the world. And so he had the ballroom all done over in gold, And as tacky as that is, he still did it. And then he sent out the declaration that it was going to be the Green with Envy Ball. And he told everyone they had to wear green because nobody was going to be as fabulous as he was. And so they all had to wear green to represent that they were envious of everything that he has. And that he would be picking a new bride that night. So that's why all the ladies are in green. So Cinderella couldn't go, and so her fairy godfather came. Picture Billy Porter or Nathan Lane came and said, "Oh, don't worry, girl. I'll fix it all up. It's going to be fab. I'm going to give you a coach. I'm going to give you horses. I'm going to give you a new dress and these fabulous shoes. Oh, girl, it's going to be good." And so she said, well, all right. She didn't know that the evil king had taken over. So Billy said, well, being it's an all green, we're going to put you in pink and red. You are going to stand out like crazy. So he put her in pink and red and gold and sent her off to the ball, never telling her what had happened already and that everything had changed. So she got there, and of course she stood out, and the evil king, the terrible dictator, saw her and grabbed her and said, "You have to dance with me all night," which he did. And it hurt her little shoes because, it hurt her little feet because, she had those glass slippers. And you can see her crying. In fact, she's crying blood. She's so heartbroken. He wouldn't let her leave. She knew she had to leave by midnight, but he said, "No, you're staying. You're not going anywhere. You're mine. I own you. I own everything. I am the king." Finally, someone said, "Hey, king, we have a photo op over here. You want to come over? You're going to be the center of the stage." Well, he threw her back so fast and ran over to that photo op. It wasn't funny. And she made her get away. But of course, it was after midnight. And so things started changing. And what happened was, she got into the pumpkin. She was riding away. She had lost a slipper at the ball. She got into the pumpkin, and everything started to go to hell in a handbasket. The pumpkin started melting. The horses started to turn into zombies because, now they're dead and they're, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. She was told to be home by midnight. She's got crows that have come to eat this rotting pumpkin and probably pluck her eyes out like Tippy Hedward and the birds. Oh, it was ghastly. So what did she do? She jumped out of that pumpkin. You can see her. She just popped right out of that sucker to get out of there. And she picked that shoe off, the last shoe she had on, her glasses. She threw that over and said, "Oh, hell no. They're never going to find me because I'm not marrying him. Oh, God, no." And so she ran home, and her fairy godfather was there. He was a little tipsy at this point because he liked to drink. What can I say? And he said, "Well, I guess I screwed that up for you, didn't I? Didn't I tell you what had happened at the palace?" And she said, "No, bitch, you didn't. And it was horrible, and now they're going to come for me, and I don't want to marry him." And he said, "Don't worry. I've got this all worked out. I'm going to send you to a mythical place where you will stay with an aunt and an uncle, and you will be safe. And no one will, I'm even changing your name." And what he did was he sent her to Kansas. And he sent her to live with her Aunt Em and her Uncle Henry and some creepy farmhands and this little dog that keeps biting her heels, Toto. And as she got there, this horrible twister tornado came. And she couldn't believe it. Her luck is just not good. And that fairy godfather has got to stop drinking. I'm sorry, he does. And so it picked her up and it threw her, not our Dorothy, but it threw her all the way to Oz. This is a whip and chat, so don't judge. Where she meets 3 new friends. But that is a different story. There we go. Now, you tell me what other colorist out there on YouTube gives you a fairy tale story as they show you the completed pages. None of them. Although maybe they'll start now. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's go back and I'll talk about what I did. I hope you enjoyed my story. So I did this first, actually. And let me move this because I realize it's glaring because I used some gloss on it. This I used King Art gel sticks for a base for everything. The sky, the ground, the pumpkins, and the trees. And then I went in with Ohuhu pencils, and I put in all the shadowing and stuff. And this is when I found that I don't like the Ohuhu pencils, because just doing these trees and just the shadows and stuff, my brown pencil, if I had it handy, I'd show it to you, went from that to like this. Because if they break, they all broke, but they break and they're awful. They're just like Prismacolor. They're just, and I used a very light hand, but they're just so delicate and fragile that I decided, even though I like them because they felt good going down on the paper and stuff, I'd never buy them again. And yes, I bought them. I would never buy them again because you would end up having to buy a new set every couple of months. Or maybe every month, because you would just go through them so badly. So I decided I didn't like them. So, and then I put some Duraclear shine on it, because just like the Prismacolors, they come off. They smudge and come off on your hand. And so I put that down so that they wouldn't, and now they don't. And so that's why I'm holding it like this so it doesn't glare. And then the next one I did, and I also, I'm so sorry, I forgot to tell you. I put Satin Glazing liquid down on both these pages before I even started them, so that I could use whatever I wanted. If I wanted to use alcohol marker, and also I knew I was going to be using a lot of water for putting down the King Art. And it worked. Nothing came through. Very, very impressed. And again, I used a lot of water. I did that on both pages. And then this one, I used the Ohuhu watercolor markers. They were okay. They didn't go down. I had to put like a couple of coats on them, and I had to be careful, of course, to make sure they didn't tear up the paper. But I used the Ohuhu watercolor on these, and then I went in afterwards and I used acrylic because this was really hard to get the details. I did some acrylic work here to put the gold back in, and then I used some Ohuhu markers, alcohol markers. One, to see if they went through the page, and two, to kind of give it a golden, glow, because these are candles. And then I used acrylic on the flames, and I just went ahead and made them red because I had already decided what my little fairy tale was going to be all about. And then her dress was the watercolored markers, and then hold on, I got it right here. The grabby glitter gel pen. I put that down, and then I just walked away so that it would dry. It took forever on the dress because I wanted it to really pop. I was excited about the dress and making her look good. And I used Ohuhu pencils on her skin. I think I did okay with that. Now, the floor. It doesn't look awful. I didn't like the pattern on the floor, and I tried something, and it didn't work, and then the pattern was messed up. Oh, I know what I did. I used the King Art gel sticks to do something different with the floor, and it didn't work. It never did work. And oh my God, it took like 5 different things on this floor, and I worked, and I finally said, let's just make it white and start over. So I used this bleed-proof white, which I had seen on HappyCatastrophy, her YouTube channel. And it's a paint, and it's quite thick, actually. And I actually think this dried up a little bit because it was a little too thick. And I put it down on the floor, but it came out in big clumps, so it looked like cottage cheese. It was just a disaster. And I came close to just tearing this page up so many times. And then I said, well, I'll just brush some black on it and try to make it look marble. which I did, and I don't think it looks like marble, and I took a picture and I put it on Instagram, and somehow the black didn't even show up on Instagram. So Derek, I believe it was, said, well, just say they're dancing on snow. And so that's what I said. Yeah, so, but anyway, I think if you block this out, I did an okay job. But unfortunately, all I see is this hot mess down here, and it null and voids everything else I did. And then, of course, none of it came through. I'm really impressed with this stuff. If you want to learn how to put this on, I'm going to put a link to Axik Fumbles channel, and I'll try to link it right to the video where she shows exactly how to put it on. I could do it, but I'd be just copying her word for word. And so she did a perfect one, so why not watch hers, and she'll show you exactly how to put this on, including using some sandpaper on it, which I do, and it's just wonderful. I love it. Okay, now on this side, these two sides, I use something different. I saw it on the Foxy Colorist channel, and it is Daniel Smith's. Do I have it handy? I do not have it handy, but I'll put a picture on the screen. There it is right there. I got that because it's actually designed, this is designed if you want to use acrylics, but everybody uses it for whatever they want, and it works great. But the Daniel Smith is designed to use watercolor and stuff like that, and alcohol marker. And so I put that down on both sides, just like I put down the other, on the other two sides, and then I let them dry. You have to let it dry for 24 hours. That's the rule. That's how it is. You're gonna have to deal with it. And then I went ahead and I did the tornado, and I think I did the tornado. The tornado represents everything I've been going through emotionally lately. I've been going through a hard time, and it really does represent everything. I've been feeling emotional. And I did live in Minnesota for 8 months, and I remember we'd have these weird storms where the sky would turn green. It was creepy. And I only lived there for 8 months for a reason. And so I went ahead and I did the tornado. I like it. I used alcohol marker. I used Ohuhu. No, I'm sorry, I'm a liar. I used Arrtx alcohol markers. And the Daniel Smith, what it does is, this doesn't get absorbed into the page like it normally does. That's why you have to fight with it to blend. It turned it into like watercolor. And so you can move it, you can maneuver it, you can blend with it, you can just go nuts. I just realized I missed one little spot. And I did, and I had so much fun using it. It's just, I really like this, and I like the way it looks and stuff like that. Now, it might be something that everyone else looks at and goes, that's a piece of crap, Kristopher. And you can, it's alright if you think that way. But I enjoyed it. I listened to Deb and I threw the rules right out the window, right into the storm, and I tried something totally different, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I had fun with this. I think the colors came out really good. Again, vibrant, just awesome. So, and then I'm doing this, so this will be a whip, which I hate showing a whip, but I'm showing a whip. And again, I did the same thing, and I'm using, this is acrylic. I haven't finished putting it down, but yeah, so this will probably be finished, hopefully, and I can show it to you in next month, or on my Instagram in next month's exciting acrylic completed pages. And yes, I know I'm showing you some pages that I'm working on or have done in November, but I don't care. Because it's probably going to be middle of November before I post that, so I'm just going to do it that way. So hopefully you're okay with that. So that's what I did in this book. And I worked, oh God, it took me a long time to do the pumpkin carriage and the ballroom. Boy, those two took a really long time. So But, I mean, we're talking like a couple of weeks each. Because there was a lot of detail and different things. And then, of course, I had life, you know, doctor's appointments and stuff like that. I had a lot of health things happen in October. So that's it. Now, if you're interested, I will tell you my Ohuhu story. I've used Ohuhu pencils for 100 years now. Jeez, it's been forever. And I've raved about them. I've always loved them. I've always had good luck with their customer service and stuff like that. I think they've been fantastic. I started using the Arrtx markers because I wanted something new, something different. You know, you get bored. And I really do like them. I haven't had a chance to publish that video showing how much I like them, so that hasn't even happened. But anyway, Ohuhu has the new soft chisel markers and stuff like that, and so I wrote to them and I said, I'm going to buy them. I wasn't asking for anything free, even though they've been sending it out to everybody in the, you know, United States and probably beyond. But I wasn't asking. I said, I'm going to buy them. But would you maybe give me a discount code for my viewers and my followers so that when I review these, I can put a discount code in there? I think that would be nice. That's all I asked for. And I got a letter back from them. I'll give them that. Arrtx never wrote back to me at all for the video I'm doing of theirs. Their customer service sucks. But anyway, I did get a letter back, and they said, basically, they had looked at my channel, and it didn't meet their standards, and so, no. And I tell you, it felt like a gut punch. I felt like I had dated someone for 5 years, and everything was great, and there was no warning signs, and then one day he just turned around and punched me in the gut so hard. And it just, my first instinct was, well, my coloring sucks. I obviously have no talent, because that's where I go to. I'm insecure. Maybe all artists are insecure. I don't know, but I'm very insecure. And I thought, well, my coloring sucks. But I wrote back and I said, can I ask why? Because I thought, well, maybe it's something I can change. Because I really wanted a discount code for you guys. I was excited about trying the new markers, but I just, you know. And they wrote back again, and maybe I'll put it on the screen. Their little email with the, you know, we have very strict guidelines and we have to follow them. But they won't tell me what it is that's wrong with my channel. So, of course, I decided it's because I suck. I almost took my channel off. I almost just disappeared because I'm such a horrible, awful colorist. And then Storm said, no, I think it's because you're queer and you're openly queer, and they didn't like that. Someone on the internet said, no, they're just, their company has gone to hell in a handbasket in that they're not being as nice as they used to be, I'll put it. And they probably didn't feel my numbers were high enough and stuff like that. But I've seen a couple of channels out there that my numbers are higher. And they got free products, and I wasn't even asking for a free product. I'm not going to say who it is, because that would not be fair. So, I don't know what it is. I just know that it really affected me emotionally. And that's why the tornado looks like it looks. Because all I can think of is, I suck. And that's the way of telling me I suck. So, I'm not happy with Ohuhu. And I had already decided that I really like the Arrtx, but of course it's going to come off now that Ohuhu insulted me, so I'm switching to... No, I had already... I have the video done, I just need to edit it to pop it up. I had already declared that I really like the Arrtx markers. They're more expensive is the only problem. Their customer service sucks. But I really think they look good. And so, of course, I have all my Ohuhus in front of me on my shelf. And every time I sit down to color, I look at them and I feel that gut punch again. So I just haven't made up my mind if I want to just donate these Ohuhu markers and just go with Arrtx or what. Because if it's going to make me sick to my stomach every time I look at them and make me doubt myself, which is my own shit, I'll admit that. maybe I should just move on from them so that they don't. You know, why go to that place? But I haven't made up my mind. But anyway, I just feel that I was very loyal to the Ohuhu brand, and they're a good brand, don't get me wrong. They're somewhat affordable. I do like them, but yeah. the gut punch was just a little much. They maybe just need to work on their manners, or bedside manners or something, I don't know. But anyway, that's my Ohuhu story. And that's why I'm not really thrilled with them right now, and have been using the Arrtx a little bit more. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. So that's why I went on the the Copics site, and I said, how much would this cost me? And I noticed each set was like 500 and something, and I thought, oh my god. And you have to get 5 sets to get all the colors, and I hate it when companies do this. Well, buy set A and buy set B, and because you end up spending 2 to 3 more times than if they just put them in one big case, which Ohuhu does do that, and that's great. But Black Widow Pencils does that, Arrtx is doing that, and I don't like that. I think it's just a way to rip people off, to be honest with you. But I put everything in the shopping cart, the 5, A, B, C, D, and E, so I can have all the colors, which I think is 388, because when I do things, I want it all. And it came to $2,800 and some odd dollars, and I laughed, and I said, no. I'm not going to do that. And so I, of course, just, closed the website. And you could say, well, buy one set at a time. No, because you know what? At the end of the day, it's all going to cost the same anyway. Eventually, you're going to want the other sets. And when you buy the other sets, no. So I'm sure they're a great marker. I have dear friends that tell me they love the markers. That's fantastic. But I just can't see spending that kind of money. Again, unless they come to the house and make dinner and refill the markers, or if refills were free for the rest of your life or something, maybe. But no. So I will find something else other than Ohuhu to use. You just have to be careful, because some brands, like the Shuttle Art, I found some old colorings I did with Shuttle Art, and the page had turned yellow, which I'd heard happens, but I didn't realize. I threw them away. I should have videoed that for you to show you. So you have to be careful with what markers you buy, whether or not they will yellow in time, because you don't want to go to all that work just to have it get ruined, So hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and share my videos and subscribe. That's honestly what helps channels, is that kind of stuff. And commenting. If you could talk to me. I love talking back. I love talking back. No, I love communicating with you. It's fun. I really enjoy it. So please do. And also follow me on Instagram and all that kind of fun stuff. And, I think of it as a little family, and I think it's fun and it's terrific. And anybody out there who wants to do buddy colors or something, let me know. I'd love to do that. I really would. So, I'm out of breath now. I need to get some water and relax. All right, as I always say. Oh, first I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. And I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving if you're in America and celebrate it. And all that kind of stuff. Happy holidays. I'll just say it that way. But as I always say, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, stay happy. Stay tuned.